Hey there, this is Bill Pescosolido, and in this video today, I wanted to share with you a story that recently happened actually, it was an incident. I want to share the story of an incident that recently happened to Michelle and I. So a few days ago, we were driving out our back alley to go shopping or run errands, whatever. We have an alley behind our house, so everyone's driveway and garage, you enter in from the back, from behind, basically. So we're driving down the back alley, and as we get almost to the end of our street, our neighbor at the very end of the street, who we hardly know at all, I don't even know if I've ever met the guy, he was backing out of his driveway, and he was actually backing out pretty fast, and he almost hit us. He slammed on his brakes, we slammed on our brakes, and we didn't get into an accident, but he basically almost hit us because we were just going like 15 miles an hour down the back alley. Now, luckily, nothing happened, but I think, in our opinion, or if an observer was watching, if there was an accident, they probably would have felt that it was his fault, right? He would have basically backed out quickly and rear-ended us. Well, that's not the point. What happened from there is he then rolled down his window and started yelling at us to basically slow the F down, as if it was our fault. Well, knowing Michelle and I, we didn't really take too kindly to that, so Michelle rolled down the window and basically started yelling back, saying, "Hey, pal, what the hell's your problem? We didn't do anything wrong. You're the one that was, almost hit us, and so forth." Well, it kind of escalated from there. And this guy wouldn't back down. He says, "I always see you guys driving down this alley, going 25, 30 miles an hour," which isn't true. And so I yelled back, "What the hell are you, the back alley police?" Michelle yelled, "Don't you tell me to slow down," and so forth. And it got a little out of hand. It wasn't really something that we're proud of, but clearly we felt that this guy was in the wrong, and that, like I said, he would have hit us, not the other way around. And for him to then roll down his window and start accosting us as if we had done something wrong, we're like, that just doesn't seem right. That doesn't fit. There's something wrong with this picture here. Well, it ended up fizzling out, and nothing really escalated beyond each of us just kind of yelling at each other. And then we drove off, and who knows what happened. So that was like a week ago. Well, and what's funny is that and Michelle and I, as we drove off, we were both thinking to ourselves, that just seemed really odd. That whole exchange and how it happened and how it escalated just seemed really odd, that this guy would be so inflammatory and so aggressive towards us when we honestly didn't think that we did anything wrong. So again, that was a week ago. Well, today, this guy comes and knocks on my door. And I saw him out the window, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? It's the dude from down the road. This is going to be interesting. So I answered the door, and I said, "Hello." And he pointed at me. He goes, "White Volvo?" And I said, "Yeah." And he pointed at himself, and he said, "A-hole down the street." And I was like, okay. He said, "Hey, just so you know, I really want to apologize to you. That was out of character of me. I can't believe I did that. I'm normally not like that at all. You guys did nothing wrong. It would have been my fault had there been an accident." He goes, "What had happened is," he's like, "my father recently passed away. And in addition to that, my kids were driving me crazy." He has young teens and like an 11-year-old and a 12-year-old. He said, "My kids were driving me crazy. My daughter's just an emotional wreck right now. She's, 13. She just started her feminine stuff, started her period." He said, "All these things were building up in my world, in my life." And he said, "And I took it out on you guys." He said, "In fact, when I backed out so quickly and almost hit you, I was so scared because I thought I was going to run into you guys. And instead of apologizing," he said, "I just had all this stuff built up inside of me that I took it out on you and basically misplaced my anger." Now, this is pretty interesting. And he went on he profusely apologized, how he was in the wrong. And I was like, "Look, dude," I was like, "That's okay. It's water under the bridge. I understand. I'm sorry for your loss." And we actually ended up having, right at our front doorstep, about a 20-minute conversation. He said, I need to personally apologize to your wife as well. When I have the opportunity, I want to do that. And he said, furthermore, if we want to invite you down. He's like, I make a mean barbecue, or if you ever see me down there in the garage hanging out, swing by. We'll have a beer. He's really a nice guy, and we've since seen him and bumped into him because we're neighbors, and it's all good. It really is all good now, and it's so interesting that if you look back, this story went from was my neighbor on paper, though, don't know the guy at all. So we started off as no relationship whatsoever, did not know him from Adam. The next phase was we were yelling at each other. Obviously, the relationship was not going very well at all. And then finally ended up where he came and apologized, and we just had a normal, rational conversation. Realized that he's a good guy, I'm a good guy, we actually have some things in common, and I see here in the very near future, I'll probably go down to his house and have a beer with the guy, something like that. I don't know, share some barbecue ribs, whatever. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you is not because I feel you need to know my story and what happened with almost hitting the guy in the back alley, but because I think it's important to understand that when you're dealing with people in this business, whether this be a prospect or whether it's your upline or your downline, but I think specifically prospects, and maybe they're saying no to you. It's very easy to get caught up in if someone says no or if it doesn't go the way you had expected. It's very easy to get caught up and say, okay, what did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? What should I have done better? Something's wrong with this. This company doesn't work. This product sucks. This whole thing is loopy. When in reality, it may just be that person. They could just be having a bad day. They could have just, in this case, lost their father. And clearly, if you're trying to expose them to your opportunity or follow up on a scheduled call in regards to your opportunity, and they're blowing you off, and you're thinking, this guy's a jerk, and he's not interested, this stuff stinks, and what the heck am I doing? Well, remove yourself from the equation for a moment and consider that something might be a little wacky in their life, right? Now, you're going to be fired up about your opportunity, and you're going to probably think that everyone else should be just as fired up as you. And when you schedule that follow-up call, you want them to be on time and on the call and just as fired up and interested and engaged as you would be. And then when they're not, and then you realize, wow, what a deadbeat prospect, or this guy's a waste of my time, or whatever, keep an open mind. Keep an open mind that there could be something else going on in their life that prevents them from being as interested in your opportunity as you would hope that they would be, right? Life comes up. Kids do crazy things. Relatives die. People get taken to the hospital. Dogs have to get taken to the vet. You don't know, whatever. Life happens. And a lot of times it just simply cannot be ignored, even in the face of you presenting your wonderful opportunity to them. So don't take it personally. Don't take it as if you should have done something different or better, or that they're a deadbeat and a waste of your time. Don't do that. Instead, consider the possibility that this might not be a good time for them. Recognize that, understand that, and reschedule or even ask, hey, you seem a little off right now. You're not nearly as excited as when we first spoke about this. Did something happen? You never know. They might open up to you and say, yeah, well, I just spilt burning water all over my head and my hair's on fire. Now's not a good time to talk. I don't know. But something could be up in their life that's preventing them from engaging as much as you would want them to. So I hope this makes sense. I hope that you really think about this message and reflect on it and utilize it moving forward in your prospecting and your relationship building. Prospects, upline, downline, whatever. People have stuff going on out of their control, and they just have to go deal with that. So if you liked this video, share it. Put a comment below, click like, give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear your feedback, and share this social media wise. Share it Facebook, Google+, Twitter, whatever your social addiction is. Give it a share. Let other people hear this, and I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next video.